A lot of folks have heard about the Native American Museum located southeast of Lewistown, Illinois. But did you know that it's haunted? The Dickson Mounds Museum and Archaeological Site came about in 1927 when chiropractor Don Dickson began unearthing Native American burial mounds on his family farm. He unearthed these ancient skeletons by using brushes and archaeological tools. Within the first year, 40,000 visitors had flocked to see the site. This also grabbed the attention of state universities so they could come study the remains. Eventually, the site was sold to the state and made into a museum, where the state employed Don Dickson and most of his family to take care of it. This museum held not only Native American artifacts, but Native American bones and burials were on full display. When I was a child, I even remember seeing the bones. Of course, these bones being on display came with backlash, and Native Americans protested, saying that it was oppression and that it also desecrated the graves of their ancestors. In the early 1990s, the Native Tribal Council won, and the bones were covered up. But the bones never left the museum. They were buried underneath the floor where they originally lay. They are in the same room with the projector screens and the scary thunder noises. Over the years, I have heard many stories, and people have even written into me to tell me about how haunted Dickson Mounds is, especially in that projector room where the bones still are. When you go to Dickson Mounds, you usually start your tour on the third floor, where there's a movie that you watch. Sometimes those doors will open and close uncontrollably, and the movie will start and stop by itself. Sometimes the elevator will have a mind of its own, and when people take the stairs, they feel very uneasy and uncomfortable. The second floor is where all of the artifacts are held, and also where the bone room is. You walk the catwalk in that room all the way down to the first floor, listening to a story as you go. A lot of people claim to have seen shadows on the catwalk when they know they were in there alone. I once got an email from someone stating that they were eating in the cafeteria when Dickson Mounds used to have the cafeteria area. He was sitting there enjoying lunch with his family when all of a sudden the plastic fork raised up, levitated off of the table, and then flew across the room. He and his family looked at each other with shock and awe. It's not only Dickson Mounds that's haunted. The entire surrounding area is haunted. And a lot of the people that live in the area have stories. This picture was sent to me by somebody that lives in a house that neighbors the Dickson Mounds Native American Museum. They were having a bonfire one crisp fall night with a few friends standing around the fire, and they noticed that the fire was starting to act a little strange. It was swirling and acting unnaturally. So they got out the phone and took a picture, and this is what they captured. If you look at old pictures of Native Americans, you can see that they have rings on their sleeves. Even if they're not wearing a shirt, they have some sort of ring on their bicep or on their arm. It is very prevalent in all of these pictures. If you live on Waterford Road, you're in for a treat. There are Native American burial grounds all along Waterford Road, especially the area where the bluff overlooks the river. There are many houses that are haunted because they are built directly on top of Native American burial grounds on Waterford Road. It's not just the museum and local houses. The woods themselves, the forest surrounding the entire area is also said to be haunted. One of the neighbors that neighbors Dickson Mounds Museum actually wrote me and told me that they saw a Native American man in the woods while they were mushroom hunting. And it really makes sense because the museum had once unearthed a warring grave of a warring tribe in that area. It's not just Waterford Road. County 9 Highway also has some haunted houses. And when I was a child, the very first apparition or spirit that I ever saw was at the apple orchard that my grandparents owned. Just check out these comments from people that live on County 9 Highway. Even the high school that I attended, the mascot was called the Indians, and it still is because we have that rich of Native American history in there. If you have any spooky stories, write me and let me know. And if you'd like to hear more about the time I saw a full-body apparition, please buy my book, Spoon River Paranormal. It is available on Amazon.